Quick disclaimer. Should we comment on the author of a fanfiction, we are simply using context clues based on the content of the fanfiction being read. These comments are speculative and not meant to be insulting or judgmental towards the author. Similarly, any statements or opinions read as part of the fanfictions do not necessarily represent the values of the hosts. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pick a Fic, the world's #1 fanfiction podcast. My name is Jason, and with me is my brother Micah.
Hello. Or should I say good morning, because today is another very early
I don't
episode.
think you need to say that.
I think we need to tell the audience that
We need to preface that it's going to take us a while to get into the spirit of things.
yes, I think that is very important thing to mention.
I mean, you do edit these. Oh, you know what they sound like after. I don't. I'm catching up. I'm listening. I'm in the middle of Terror in the Dragon Worlds or whatever.
Yeah.
The best fan fiction we've read. Like, I mean, Yoshi's Baby Problem would probably be tied. They're both ridiculous and funny in completely different ways.
Yeah.
But this isn't about fan fictions right now. This is about movies.
Movies. Lots of movies.
A lot of movies. We finished Alvin and Chipmunks, all 4 of them. I don't think we talked about that last time.
Well, we just reviewed the first one.
Okay, well, the third one's the best, in my opinion.
That sounds really funny.
The best bad movie. None of them are like anywhere close to good. All of them are extraordinarily better than the Smurfs, the 2 live action Smurfs.
Yeah.
Like the 4th one is probably the closest to the Smurfs quality. And even then, I would rather watch The Road Chip over either Smurfs movie.
Yeah.
Any day, dude.
Yeah, the Smurfs were just so bad. And they're ugly too. Like, at least the whole time the Chipmunks didn't look like ugly.
I mean, one of them did.
Yeah, but you know, you could watch it. You know, like the Smurfs are just disgusting to look at. Even I can't even like, ugh. But yeah, no, I think I like Chipwrecked the bet either Chipwrecked or the Squeakquel, because yeah, the Squeakquel has like the stupid high school stuff, but like I think more interesting stuff happens in the high school stuff compared to Chipwrecked, where they just like do nothing essentially. Like,
but my argument is that Chipwrecked is the only movie in the franchise that knows what it is and like kind of leans into it. Just like, this isn't supposed to be taken seriously, is it? And then they don't take it seriously for one movie of the 4, and it's actually kind of fun. I mean, they're all fun to watch, like, ironically, but that one was like, okay, I could see like a kid getting into this. You know, they got the cruise shenanigans, which we appreciated.
Their voice of cruise.
We were on a Carnival cruise too. They showed
yeah,
like their biggest boat at the time for like 2011 or whatever.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah, the Dreamline, I think.
Yeah.
And there's a couple scenes that were shot on that boat, and then most of it was not shot on the boat.
Where they got like the luxury. Which, if you're a music, I guess at this point, Dave is a music producer.
Yeah.
You like if you're going on a cruise, like yeah, he got the luxury suite, but he's also going on a Carnival cruise. Yeah.
It's like, you go on Carnival cruise if you want to save money on the ticket so you can buy the drink pass and get drunk and party and do that kind of stuff, as we found out.
Yes.
Not to say you can't not do that stuff. We didn't do that stuff.
And we had plenty of fun.
Yeah, it's just the vibe of a cruise. Just everyone is there to do fucking nothing, and it's so awesome. No one cares about anything. You can't do whatever you want, but in terms of like, compared to like normal society, you can get away with a lot more. You can just eat a bunch of food. You can like trash your room and they'll clean it every day. Like,
yeah.
You know, not that you should, but you can, and a lot of people do on Carnival specifically.
And to anyone who's going to go on a Carnival cruise, go into the TV and search for the CCTV cameras.
Well, not CCTV, but they have two like deck cams. There's a
The
deck cam,
the deck
and then
cameras.
there's the front, like right off the bow, where what the captain sees basically, and like it's just playing like some like like what would you call it, like corporate radio station.
Corporate. I just say like radio.
Well, it's because it's the type of thing you'd buy as like a grocery store, and that's what I mean.
Guess.
Like, it's like a corporate music service that they probably pay for.
It's a weird way of.
It's very quiet.
It's
very quiet. So it's like sometimes you'll turn on the TV and your volume won't be on, and it's just dead silent while you see the black and white camera looking out into the endless ocean. You're like, or you can go to
my favorite was watching the water park, people in the water park.
Yeah, it was like right behind the slide, so you could see when someone went down the slide.
Yeah,
because it would just go dark,
and it was a special moment because you have to pay for that slide.
Yeah, you have to pay for the slide.
So every time someone would come, we'd be like, "Oh my god, someone paid for the slide!" Yeah,
we watched. What would you say, like 30 minutes of the proposal with no audio?
Yeah, that was so fun.
Zoomed out, we couldn't read the subtitles either. So we were just we didn't know what movie it was. So we're just trying to piece together what's going on. It was like, okay, so the girls like invited to the mansion, and like now she's like, now they're like naked on the floor together.
But she hates the guy.
Now they're like,
but they're gonna get married.
Now like the dog is getting taken by an eagle. And we're just like watching these scenes unfold. Through a like 480p webcam, so far away from the projector, we literally could not read the subtitles. Like, we didn't even know that was Ryan Reynolds. We could not.
Oh, you could not tell it was Ryan Reynolds.
He just looked like hot guy.
Yeah, you know,
like
just
hot guy number 5.
Yeah, number 5.
Hollywood has a few. They have like 12 of those just in storage.
I was still going on another Carnival Cruise though. Like, now that I'm more prepared of what to actually expect, like, I think I can make even more out of it than
for sure. I mean, I'd be okay. I don't want to go on Carnival just because I have issues with the way they handle things.
Yeah, you know, it was terrible. Like the app was horrible.
The app was disgusting. Like, it didn't even work. Like, we paid for the chat where you could like chat with each other because we were 3 groups of 2. It didn't work. Like, some of us couldn't communicate with certain people.
No notifications. Biggest thing.
And that
no
was the thing,
notifications.
No notifications. So you just look at your app and it's like 2 hours ago, someone wanted to meet somewhere. It's like, I didn't see this.
Yeah. Absolutely
it
terrible.
Because you don't get signal when you're in the middle of the ocean, even if you pay for international data. But another thing I want to get to before we run out of time here is Kangaroo Jack, Good Day USA.
Atrocious. I don't even know how to like I'm surprised you gave it a 1 out of 5 stars. I gave it half.
I explained it in the review. The first movie got an F. This movie got a D-.
The first movie I get enjoyment out of, like some enjoyment.
Dude, but like the only enjoyment I got was when the kangaroo was talking, and he did that for 2 minutes in the first movie. To be fair, the kangaroo talks slightly more in the second movie, but it's still all a dream sequence.
This was just. It was just. I don't know. I can't find any positive about it. Everything about it was terrible. Like, you literally have the perfect opportunity to give the people what they want instead of talking kangaroo. That's what the people want. Give it to them. Why won't they give that to us?
Spoilers for Kangaroo Jack, Good Day USA. He does talk at the end, and that's why I didn't give it half a star, because he committed on the promise.
No,
I can't be. I can only be mad at myself. You want to know why? Because of they tricked me twice. Okay, it's my fault. It is my fault. Completely my fault. No one else's, for expecting anything more than the first movie. And I still technically, by like 0.5%, got more than the first movie. So I thought about it, not very hard, but that's why I didn't give it a low half star. Oh, by the way, I should mention, to wrap up Pleasantries here, we do put I started putting our letterboxes and backlogs in the description. So if you want to see what shenanigans we get up to, because we talk about maybe 2% of the movies we do. Games, we talk about everything because it takes much longer to beat a game.
Yes.
But our movies, we watch like 4 or 5 movies a week. So like we're not talking about everything. Like we won't even have time to talk about Raya and the Last Dragon today. And you know what? I don't think I would want to talk about it.
Me too.
even if
Yeah,
we
I
did
don't,
have
I don't
time.
want to talk about
But
it.
what that this is, after all, a fan fiction podcast, the world's #1 fan fiction fiction podcast.
Say it again.
No, yeah, keep that in too. We are in the middle of a little ficky as I call them, of Sonic Riders many years later by Nastories. Micah, the editor, will now recap the last episode.
Everyone's dead.
Yep.
And by everyone, I mean Vector, SBO, and Vanilla.
And doesn't Charmy have like schizophrenia?
Yes, Charmy
and he has
has
to take his pills.
Has schizophrenia.
And
Yeah.
Cream doesn't want him
So
to.
Cream, I don't think this is ever gonna get brought up again, but I
No.
might as well just mention like Cream owns an orphanage, and which was like I guess to commemorate Vanilla, like it was kind of made in her name. I does not explain how Vanilla died.
No.
Because like Cream is now like 20, like in her like early 20s
Something
at this
like that.
point, so it wasn't like old age, so she probably died from the war, from the nukes.
From the
They also, yeah, and Charmy has schizophrenia, so he sees like SBO and Vector.
but also knows they're dead? ?
Yeah, a weird scene happens where he goes to the graveyard. Charmy goes to the graveyard where they're buried, and like this is when he didn't take his meds, so he like was realizing that like they are past, but he was also joking with Cream about it too. He was just like yeah, you thought I was sad about it or something like that. Like just really weird. And then yeah, General gave him the meds and he's like knocked out essentially.
Freaking tranked him.
That was a whole chapter. And the chapter that was part 1 of this arc, and part 2 it was all about Sonic, and now he's like a mercenary essentially, and he's a mercenary for hire, but the person who only hires him is Amy.
There's like a rule now where he can't just be a vigilante. Like,
Yeah,
he has to be doing something for work for it. But as long as, from what I understood, as long as he's working for Amy and she's like kind of nearby, he can just do what he used to do before.
Yeah,
which is just like kind of find trouble and stop it. Which is very funny because it's literally just real life. It's just like someone will make a law or a rule, and then there's an extraordinarily obviously loophole, and no one fixes the loophole. There's like, I guess we tried once.
Yeah.
We're gonna give up. That was our only effort.
So Amy is also like she's using Sonic's help to like search for like what do they call it, like she's like investigating.
I mean,
like,
she's like, isn't she an
ruins.
archaeologist?
Yeah, she's like an archaeologist now essentially. And they go to one of the Gaia temples. Which it wasn't really explained, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the Gaia temples they went to, and they got like in like a fight with the temple. The temple was like doing some like self-defense systems or whatever. Then Chip shows up out of nowhere.
Forgot.
They don't even explain what they're searching for or what's going on.
I'm like skimming it to see if they say anything, but
yeah,
no,
but like
they
they're talking
don't.
about like the hallway that's like illuminated with like green like flames or blue flames, which is kind of like what the Gaia temples were. So yeah, that's all I can really think. It was like it was the longest episode, so much like to read, yet so little happened.
yeah, because then Sonic went into like this dream.
Oh my gosh,
thing.
I did forget about the dream. Yeah,
That's the only thing I remember from the last.
where he fights all of his like alter like forms.
Yeah, there was Dark Spine. There was the Werehog. Wasn't there another one?
There. I don't know.
I think this person has some comic knowledge.
Yeah, because
there's a couple things in here where it's like, I think that's from the comics. I don't know for sure. So I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
that's the recap of the last
And now, like,
2
because
chapters.
the reason why we know these sources is that Tails is recapping Wave about where everyone is. So now it's Knuckles, and now we're gonna find out where Knuckles is and what he's been up to.
Yeah. So without further ado, actually, with further ado, I should double check who is voicing Knuckles.
It's probably you. It's probably
me.
Takal's probably Ghost is gonna be here magically, and you're probably gonna be Takal. You're just gonna be everyone.
Micah? No one. He hasn't been in this yet.
What? I don't believe that.
Do you have a good Knuckles? Because
I can try. I don't know. I've never been Knuckles. I can try.
Why do I have to find the key like that?
To do like is
or you can do like modern Knuckles.
Yeah,
he just kind of sounds like that. No.
Yeah. I can't please be Knuckles because I was nobody in the last few chapters. I really want to actually do something this time.
Well, I'm skimming. There's kids. I think it's only Knuckles. So far, it's only Knuckles and Tikal.
All right, cool. Yeah,
you want to be both of them? Or one of them, or two of them?
I'll go with Knuckles for now.
Okay. All right. Now, without further ado, this is Chapter 10, The More Things Changes, Part 3. Earlier that day,
there's multiple people. The servers are the 7 chaos. Chaos is power. What?
You said chaos. Chaos
is power. Power enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos.
A small group of echidnas chanted around the Master Emerald. The majority were young people, teens to be specific. They were sitting on the floor, their hands extended toward the big gem. They were all in the Hidden Palace Zone shrine surrounding the Master Emerald. All the echidnas had some clothing in common. They all had black, knee-tall boots that ended in a silver circular knee protector. The boot also had a vertical line in the middle, shining in green color and going from the tip of the boot until the knee protector. They also wore gloves with metal silver bracelets. Finally, they all wore a golden necklace made by smaller squares ending with a slightly larger hexagon with a blue circular gem in the center, just a little below their neck. They also had white bands painted on their dreadlocks/spines. The final thing that they had in common was that all had 2 spikes coming from their knuckles. Aside from that, their clothes were different but also more normal, with the exception of the leader of the pack. Knuckles was wearing a loose garment, some kind of large cloak that covered his whole body, exposing only his arms. The cloak was a grass green with red diamonds spilled through it. He was also wearing a hat, a cowboy-style hat with some circles with stars on it. Finally, the biggest change in Knuckles, aside from some minor wrinkles, was the fact that he had lost an eye, being replaced by a mechanical sphere with a tiny horizontal line with a purple color, the same color of his healthy eye. Knuckles' mecha eye observed at the students as the other eye was closed. Part of him still couldn't believe that, after so many years of being alone on the island, he was now teaching a new generation of echidna to take up his role when the time was right. It was a job that he took great pride in doing, even if it had given him hell of troubles in the past. The thing was that most of these kids didn't care about it at all. Alright, so how
the echidnas are back.
Children.
The echidnas are just back now.
They're just back. Do you think they're not his kids?
No. And I think this has to do something with the comics.
I don't think so, because it's to mention that he was the only one on the island, which is like the game lore.
That is true.
Well, also, I don't know. Maybe IDW has something going.
Exactly.
on. I don't
maybe
know.
There are maybe the echidna travel through time.
I just know that Archie got really crazy with the echidnas. Most of them looked bored beyond themselves and tired. One of them in particular had fallen asleep. Still sit down though. A vein on his forehead had appeared, but all he did was let go of a sigh.
Okay, kids, that's enough for today. You guys can go home,
Knuckles said, dismissing all the kids. Cheers and woo-hoos were heard immediately as they took their routes to their zones. It was a secret, but all the existing zones in the Angel Island had routes for quick access to the hidden palace. But all but 2 kids remained. An orange-ish pair of a boy and a girl, one of them the fast-as-sleep student. The girl went to his side, watching his brother sleep, probably to wake him up, so she gave him a good shove, his torso going down. A loud thud was heard when his head hit the floor. That woke him up fully.
That hurt!
He said, looking up at her sister. She was laughing at him.
You think this is funny? A lot.
She said while smiling slyly.
Oh, I'll show you what. I'll show you. Wait, what? Oh, I'm restarting. Oh, I'll show you funny.
He shouted, throwing at her, starting a pointless fight.
Twins!
Knuckles shouted. The kids had stopped, just ready to punch each other on the face, the girl over the kid. They separated with a meter of distance. The girl pulled a bit of flesh from below her eye, while the boy made a face and pulled his tongue. I think this is Knuckles still.
Dazzle, you can leave. Razzle is the only one in problem.
Don't you hate it when you get put in problem? He said. The girl put her tongue at him. He soon answered in the same way.
Razzle, you fell asleep again in the middle of training. It is the 3rd time this month. What do you have to say to defend yourself? Training is boring. I will take anything more interesting over that,
he said, trying to sound cool and confident.
Anything?
Knuckles asked. A wicked smile appeared on his face. The kid actually looked a little intimidated by the leader.
And that people is how you dig your own grave.
Dazzle joked. Razzle started glaring daggers at her. They keep switching the pronouns.
Yep. I'm just doing kid voice at this point.
Just kid voice.
The audience just got to figure it out. Razzle, I need you to put your armor.
Knuckles ordered. Now both kids were looking concerned. If Knuckles said that meant anything they were going to do was a serious matter.
Sir, you can't go and kill my brother. That would get me killed at home.
Dazzle admitted.
Not everything is about you.
Razzle answered.
I understand your concern. I will take care of the kid. Unless he thinks this is too much for him.
Knuckles said in a way that Razzle would simply not resist. I think that's Razzle.
What are we waiting for?
I don't know why you said it like that.
I don't know either.
Just a few minutes later, Razzle wiped the sweat from his forehead. He was wearing the full armor as Knuckles advised. A black skin-tight suit covering all his body, accompanied by a black mask with muzzle piece and a headpiece that made him look more like an armadillo rather than an echidna. It was identical to Nocturne the Light armor, with the exception that the blue light symbols and eyes were green.
This is some comic stuff right here.
I mean, comics are like, I'm trying to think of a game neither of us have played, like Dark Brotherhood.
Well, okay, like, because like
Did Dark Brotherhood have anything?
It's
It's an RPG after all, by the legendary BioWare.
He did. This author did mention that that they did take inspiration from Dark Brotherhood for the time traveling, from the dimension hopping. So maybe,
because that's like one of the few games neither of us have
yeah,
played.
I don't even know anything about it, otherwise that is terrible.
At his side, Knuckles was still wearing the same stuff except the hat. Oh no, not the hat. The duo was in the lava reef zone, which in reality translated that they were inside the volcano of Angel Island. Inside of it, there were plenty of rock resistant to the hot magma where they were now standing.
So what now, old man?
Razzle said, not showing how affected he was by the extreme heat.
We are going to take the panoramic route. We climb our way up from the walls of the Red Mountain. I will give you a head start, kiddo. Get as high as you can, as fast as possible.
Knuckles ordered.
That's all? Just a little race against you? This is going to be a piece of cake.
The kid commented.
We will see about that.
Knuckles commented with secrecy. He jumped. Oops, I scrolled too far. He jumped straight to the wall and introduced his fist into the wall. The moment he made contact, he felt a nasty burn accompanied with a hiss sound. He winced inside his armor. The burn was nasty, but his equipment should make sure that he wouldn't get a single scar from the situation. He started climbing, although taking his time, ignoring Knuckles' advice. If this was only a race, then there shouldn't be much trouble. Knuckles was a much faster echidna, but with the head start and the armor, he should be able to beat the old man. Knuckles counted to 10 in his mind. Then, from the rope, he pulled an orb with some red dust inside it. He let go of it, falling on the burning lava. The magma, which so far looked relatively calm, started bubbling. The bubbles expanded wherever there was magma. He jumped away. Then a massive shake was felt through the entire island. Razzle lost his footing, and his fist almost detached from the wall because of it.
What the?
The young echidna said, looking down and watching a pillar of magma rising from the center toward him.
Wah!
He shouted and moved a little to the side, barely able to avoid the magma. A few drops fell on his armor, starting to panic as the hissing sound came. He started moving to his right, trying to avoid that pillar of magma, and didn't notice the other pillar of lava that barely missed him. He let go another shout of panic when it was unavoidable to spot it.
Stop going to the sides, kiddo.
Knuckles shouted to him a little below him.
And stop looking down.
Knuckles ordered him and he obeyed, a little too fast.
Don't see below to avoid. Close your eyes and feel the shakes on your hands and let that guide you.
Knuckles said while closing his eyes, preparing to do the same. Razzle then closed his eyes, following his teacher indication. They both continued to climb. This time, the advice given by Knuckles really made the difference. Before long, the mouth of the volcano was not that much further from them. However, they felt two large lava blasts coming to their sides, and one last coming to their direction, making it unavoidable without detaching from the wall.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
Razzle was panicking beyond himself. Knuckles could just jump from the wall and glide to a safe spot, but he doubted that Razzle would follow him, not because he couldn't, but because he was too freaked out to do so. Knuckles, with a clear plan in mind, punched the rock wall in a manner that the rock separated from the wall. Okay. What? Never mind. The crack expanded large enough to reach the kid echidna. With one hand, he pulled the giant stone from the wall. The kid stuck to it, while the other fist prevented them from falling prey of gravity.
Are you crazy, old man?
Razzle shouted. Knuckles waited for a moment, then jumped from the wall and put the rock below his foot, the same side that Razzle was stuck. A second after they started descending, they stopped and started going upward. Thanks to the magma, they were going up. Not long after that, they had finally escaped the volcano, landing on some not-so-steep side of the Red Mountain. And poor Razzle kept shouting like a little girl the whole time. Soon the two echidnas landed, Razzle still shouting and not realizing that things had calmed down.
Jeez, kid, it is over,
Knuckles said, trying to calm down the boy. Razzle stopped and looked around, realizing that they were no longer in any sign of danger. A bit of a blush appeared.
That was... okay.
He said, trying to will away the blush.
Then, who do you suggest? Then what do you suggest? Another go?
Knuckles suggested with a smile.
No!
The kid shouted, a little too loud and too soon.
Doing it twice in a day would be boring, and... Kid, I saw you shouting at the top of your lungs on the whole ride. You got nothing to hide from me.
Knuckles interrupted, looking him with tired eyes.
What are you talking about?
He said. Knuckles then gave him a little push. His legs gave up instantly, sitting down. He looked up at Knuckles, the latter with an I told you so look.
Quit it, old man,
he said, even more ashamed. Knuckles just let go of himself, falling on his back. The two spent a minute not telling anything to... Wait, what? Okay. The two spent a minute not telling anything one another. The older echidna was the first to break the silence.
So, why do you need to prove everyone how cool you are? That's none of your business.
The teenager answer, Knuckles thought.
Okay, how about the whole guardian problem? That's much more of my business.
Knuckles said. Razzle growled.
Grr, how do you do it, old man?
Razzle asked.
Do what?
Knuckles asked.
The whole guardian thing. All we do is being around that gem occasionally and chant that repetitive thingy. It is so chaos damn boring. And from what I heard, that was all you could do for many years since the island was empty. How are you not any more insane? And why do you stay here while there was so much more down there?
He half shouted. He would normally think that being so direct to him would mean problems or a punishment. He did not care right now. Knuckles just looked at him for a little, processing his arguments. Then he burst into laughter, surprising Razzle a lot. Knuckles really understood the kid's feelings. Timeless days and nights, he wondered about why he was the only one on the island. Why did he had to guard the Master Emerald? Why was he alone? The situation wasn't the same, but these were more or less the same worries that Knuckles felt. At least until he met Eggman, Sonic, and Co. He would never admit it, but he kept coming to help Sonic and company partly because his job as a guardian was too tiresome and he just wanted to have some adventure. He was partly thankful that the Master Emerald got destroyed a few times, serving as an excuse to leave the island for a while and just explore. But it couldn't be at his complete leisure. After all, he wouldn't just forget of his duty just like that. He was never alone after the first time, since people kept coming back to cause problem. Particularly Rouge was the most incessant in that regard, coming at least monthly, but Eggman and even the other good guys frequently came to take the gem away from him. Eventually, after getting broken 3 times and stolen countless others, the emerald was stolen one more time, that time to power a giant Eggman mecha and General 2. After that, from the emerald popped both Chaos and Tikal out. That's one way to say it.
But at the end of an adventure, they move on. They move on to the afterlife.
No,
they don't.
It popped them both out. It popped them out.
Okay.
Just a little.
All right.
Is this something from Sonic Battle?
Oh, I never finished it because Sonic Battle is an unplayable mess. So I had never finished it.
Well, we'll never know. The Echidna girl mentioned something about how the Master Emerald was tired of the treatment that it had continued to have, so it got other Guardians to help Knuckles? He had to admit that hurt his pride more than he thought. But with 2 extra Guardians, he found himself not feeling so lonely and able to get off the island whenever he wanted, really becoming a full-time ally to Sonic the Hedgehog. So I think the Master Emerald rebirthed Chaos and Tikal, and then they're helping him guard it. I think that's what's happening. Okay. To his surprise and eventual dismay, he then discovered the Nocturnes, echidnas that were once rivals with the with the Knuckle tribe, trapped in a different dimension. Okay. After that crazy adventure and a crazy, confusing, and convoluted time-traveling plan, they managed to return from the dimension, that time accompanied by Shade the Echidna.
Do we look up who Shade the Echidna is?
Sure.
Well, let's just see.
I've seen this person. Micah was right, it's Sonic Chronicles.
Are you kidding me? Dang.
They were in the Twilight Cage for over 4,000 years.
I need to start. If we're gonna read the rest of this, I gotta start playing that stupid game.
Should we both just drop what we're doing and play Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood?
Believe me, kid, it was sometimes unbearable.
Knuckles admitted, a few giggles still on his voice.
But don't worry, you will get in enough trouble with the world before you even know it. It is dull, very dull at times, but you will appreciate those moments when things get the hardest.
He then put his hand on Razzle's head.
Give it time.
Knuckles sounded really mature, showing the experience he had amassed with time.
Hands of the head. You say hands off the head.
Hands of the head. Should I look that up and see if anything comes up?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Hands of the head. Hands on head. Head on hands. How do you draw hands and feet in proportion to the head? Head and hands on pin. Yeah, there's nothing. I was hoping there'd be like a band.
Yeah.
Razzle whined, stepping away from his reach. He wouldn't admit it, but he suddenly felt more respect for the elder.
I am going if we're done here,
he said with a bit of the blush.
We are done,
Knuckles said with a smile, and Razzle started going down the mountain. Knuckles stayed up there. He observed the island from his spot. It was early evening. A little of sun was still on the horizon and the lights in the different zones of Angel Island appearing. Signals of the night activity on it. The island had gone a long way from being the desolate island it once was. From the Sky Sanctuary, the Mushroom Hill, Marble Garden, and even Sandopolis Zone, there were many new constructions and lights coming from them, giving the island a much cozy and warm feeling, in heavy contrast to his old life. Maybe this was the reason why he was supposed to take care of this island, and what was inside it, to have a home for his people to return to. I assume it just says, oh, this is Shade.
Oh no.
Is there voice acting in Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood?
I don't think so. Wait, I need to okay, I actually need to. Okay, I'm actually looking up who the heck Shade is. All right. Do you want to be her?
I mean, I guess.
I don't want to be everyone. I just want to at least do something this time.
I know. I just don't know. I only have 2 woman voices.
We'll just do one of them then.
You sure look comfortable. Mind if I come in? I bet Shade fans are.
Yeah,
that's not how she sounds in my head. She sounds hot. She's so sexy. Knuckles heard a voice coming closer. He looked behind him, a female echidna still wearing her armor. One would think that it was because she was or just came from training, but it was one known for preferring the armor as her everyday clothing.
Shade. Hi.
Knuckles cheerfully waved. Shade then sat her side, observing and getting absorbed by the scenery.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Yes, she said, apparently with shortness of breath. Her desire, even as a nocturne procurator. Even as a nocturne procurator was freedom and happiness for her people, being free from that mysterious prison they had. Sadly, what? Ix? Sadly, Ix only wanted to take... I guess we do need to play this game. Sadly, Ix only wanted to take over the world after getting free, so Shade made the decision of separating from him, and she was thankful that Knuckles would not just take his word as truth and follow him blindly like so many other echidnas, herself included. Apparently a rare moment from the echidna, since his friends confirmed her that he was very gullible and naive. He took that the wrong way. She soon discovered that both things were truth about Knuckles. After the experience, he wanted to give the Nocturnes another chance to set them free. Shade thought it was madness, partly because he had set free a traitor, as the Nocturne would see her. He also wanted to risk the possibility of finding Knuckles' tribe members in some other dimension, just like the Nocturnes. His faith found many difficulties, but they were able to convince some of the Nocturnes. And with Silver's help, they managed to return to their own time. Moreover, when they indeed found some other Knuckles' tribe members, there were instant differences with the Nocturnes they saved. There were constant attempts to try to take over the whole island, constant attempts to determine a superior Echidna tribe, and such. Then the war with Infinite happened. In the eyes of Infinite and Eggman, there wasn't really any distinction between the tribes. They both had to be destroyed to complete their plan, getting rid of the Master Emerald, one of the few things unaffected by the Phantom Ruby, and everyone who could use the Emerald's power. The entire island was actually unaffected thanks to it, and because of that, it was essential for everyone's survival that the island worked at full potential. Desperate times called for desperate measures. A combination of Nocturne technology with the chaos control energy from the Master Emerald, only controllable by the Knuckles tribe, permitting to turn the entire island into a giant flying ship, not that different from the Blue Typhoon that Tails once built. The whole island itself became the main weapon that led the fight to Eggman, the main resistance against him. I don't remember this from Sonic Forces. It wasn't long before more and more people united under the Echidna, all those ready to fight for their freedom. Knuckles wanted to put Shade as the commander thanks to her real training under Ix as a warrior and commander, but Shade convinced him to be him.
Okay.
Mainly because the faith and commitment he had for the people. Passion took him further than anyone imagined. This is still going. The war was no walk in the park, but at the end of the trial, the majority of Echidnas, in parentheses, the remaining ones, since they also had plenty of casualties, were able to put their differences behind. Many other chose a life away from the island, and there are some that seem not to be good people, but these things were understandable and manageable. I don't know what's going on. She was thankful to have a moment for her to contemplate how far things had reached. This is Knuckles.
You know, I bet you would feel more comfortable if you removed that armor and you wore something more comfortable.
Hey, it'd be more comfortable if you were more comfortable, by the way. Knuckles commented. The female Echidna then made a sudden movement with her arm. She was too far to hit him, but her purpose was generating wind, enough that the cloth on him was almost sent flying. Knuckles put his hand below near his pelvis, a lot like a girl wearing a skirt trying to hide her private areas. In the moment that the wind blew, you could see that Knuckles only wore his gloves and boots.
Hey!
He said, slightly offended. Oh, right. I'm not taking clothing advice from an Echidna wearing nothing but his bed sheets, Shade said with not much emotion. I put too much emotion into that, apparently. Knuckles suddenly felt ashamed.
You too with that?
He half shouted.
Seriously, all my life I haven't had the need to put on clothes. Then suddenly some crazy chick starts saying that we should get clothing, and everyone is like, yes, that's a good idea. Seriously?
Female anthros always had to wear clothing, Shade added.
Yeah, well.
Knuckles found himself speechless by her comment. She just took him by surprise. Are you saying that you males should receive a special treatment from everyone?
No, not at all.
He shouted, feeling nervous out of nowhere. There's no need to shout, she said. Why so nervous?
Are you turning into Rouge or what?
He blurted out without thinking. This affected Shade enough that he looked at him with surprise. What? She exclaimed, offended. It was now that Knuckles realized his mistake.
Wait. Part of it is...
I think this is his thoughts.
Okay. Oh shit, she is probably thinking of... Restarting? Oh shit, she is probably taking it worse since Rouge is a thief.
Meanwhile, Shade's mind went into overdrive for his comment. Did he see through what I was doing? Of course he would, you idiot. He knows Rouge too well. They both started telling each other apology after apology without much thinking nor realizing that the other was not listening. It wasn't long before the voices died down, both on their side of the rock... What? Both on their side of the rock platform.
Okay.
This is Knuckles' thoughts.
Great, Knuckles. You really don't know when to shut up. Seriously, everything was fun until you said that. Seriously, the rest are echidnas who won't stop treating me like some kind of crazy savior. Some kids that don't care that much about the thing I have done and would rather just leave the island. And let's not forget the random echidna with delusion of greatness that comes with a plan to take the emerald to himself. Okay. Alright, she and Tikal are the only ones you can talk to, but Tikal is always with Chaos, and he is like a jealous guardian dog that hates you, and now you make things weird for her. Great going, idiot. Great going.
He thought. And then this is Shade's internal thoughts. You made everything weird. He literally compared me with Rouge. He saw that you are using her advice. Tease him a little, she says. What was I thinking? Okay, that's... I like the idea of people going to Rouge to find out how to get with Knuckles. And she just tells them. Because we all know Rouge is with Shadow. We all know that.
Yep.
And Omega. It's a polyamorous relationship. And now I lost one. What other stuff Rouge said? Why am I even considering that? Yes, she seems to know what kind of things to do to get that weird connection these two have, but you won't be able to get that. You are not her. Think of something else. Think of something else. Think of something else. Fuck it. I can't think of anything, she thought. After more moments of silence, Shade started moving closer to Nux, trying to keep looking at the horizon. Knuckles noticed it on the edge of his eye. Slowly, Shade started to bend to her side, trying to land on his shoulder. Knuckles noticed this, and when Shade let herself go at full speed, he stepped away, the girl hitting her head with the floor. Knuckles winced a little, while Shade now has a headache.
Are you alright?
Knuckles asked. No, she couldn't help the fast remark. I thought the floor was softer on this side of the rock, she said with less anger.
Is it any softer?
Knuckles asked with no ill will. Shade knew this. Had it being anyone else, she would have hit him right on his face. No, she said, lifting her head and sitting down, and the awkward silence was back again. It was stupid. Maybe I should just leave it like that. I think those are thoughts too. Out of nowhere, Knuckles asked something that the female echidna never expected.
Do you see yourself ever having a family?
Shade opened her eyes, looking at Knuckles with a lot of surprise. She needed a minute to answer him. What do you mean?
Well, I am 32 right now and only a few months away from my birthday. Plenty of other echidna couples I see are a bit younger than that, and they already have kids. You know, forget it,
he said, upset, feeling like an idiot to talk about that. No, I get what you mean, Shade added. I think about it all the time. I grew as a warrior, only knowing to fight and to be ready for war. I never gave much thought, but now, without a war, while we are all free, I got no idea what to do, much less about that, she admitted, looking down. Knuckles noticed this, moved closer to her, and put his hand on her back. Shade moved her head to the side, meeting Knuckles' eyes with hers. I think this is him.
Yeah. I know I was alone in this island, only with a vague memory telling me to watch over the gem. I never considered there would be so much people on here at any point. I thought I would die alone,
he admitted. When he ended... phone fell. When he ended, he noticed how close he was to her, their warm breaths falling on the other's face. Knuckles awkwardly stepped away, falling on his butt. The awkwardness was back. Still going. Shade also continued to look away, but she felt a little more comfortable. She wasn't sure herself. Do you think we will ever have that kind of happiness? She asked.
I guess we deserve it,
he thought out loud.
After all this fighting and problems, it only seems fair.
I don't see many people wanting someone like me, she admitted. People think I'm too strict or tomboyish.
I wouldn't have anyone else on my side beside you,
Knuckles said without thinking. Shade's muzzle instantly went red. and Knuckles followed her soon.
I don't mean like in the battlefield. You are amazing on the battlefield.
She tried to fix it, rambling a bit. For a reason she couldn't really fathom, she was furious about that comment. So in your eyes, I am just another warrior? She shouted, glaring daggers at him. Shade herself couldn't believe what she was saying, but she pressed on. Knuckles froze at her stare. He gulped. What was with females draining him of his courage? Rouge used to do it all the time. Amy sometimes, and now Shade. He took a moment, trying to think his answer better.
No, yes.
Great. Oh, that's a
great start, you imbecile.
He stopped again, thinking more carefully.
Yes, you are an amazing fighter. You are also really sneaky, trying and think very strategically. I mean, all I do is punch everything in my way. What you do is really something I can't do at all. Sometimes that discipline you put the echidnas through on the toughest times made me forget all about how terrible things were. And honestly, knowing that you were there with me no matter how crazy things got or how crazy my ideas were, it was reassuring. It gave me confidence to keep going, and I felt like I could always count with you. Made me have more faith in me. We wouldn't be here now if you didn't take away a lot of my doubts.
The first few sentences were slow, but he found himself continuing, getting more confidence and security in what he said. After some point, the words just left his mouth without much thinking, but they felt right. By the end, he was satisfied with his answer. Shade softened her stare and opened her eyes a lot. Thanks. It wasn't that much, she replied, ashamed.
It was everything at times,
he admitted, lifting his hand for a moment. When he lowered it, it landed just over Shade's. Some kind of electricity flowed the moment they touched. Knuckles lifted his hand a little to stop the contact. Her ruby eyes met with his purple. Some kind of silent agreement was forged, one that both understood. At that moment, they hands joined into one sphere, warmth filling both of their bodies. Oh, yes, back with Wave and Tails. Gotta get in the Wave voice. Wow, Knuckles did all that? Wave asked with disbelief. Tails came with a cup, handing it to Wave. She looked at the brownish substance and raised an eyebrow. Tea? Seriously? Are we suddenly 60 years all?
You should have helped.
Every time, dude.
You should help with your insomnia.
He answered.
Oh my gosh.
That kid should have had a long, lengthy career in Hollywood. He deserved it.
Yes, Knuckles in short reunited a good group of echidnas from a different dimension, and actually from the ancient clans that lived in our dimension,
he said, taking a sip at his cup. The Knuckles and the Nocturnes, but these were rival clans. How did he manage to kill years of tradition and resentment? They should have being at each other's throats the moment they met.
Yeah, they were at each other's throats. I was part of it from time into time, and I can tell it was insane at times. Ironically, the war that decimated the rest of the world helped them put all that aside. It also reduced their numbers. There is only about 100 or so of them around. That definitely helps too. Some even made their lives away from the island.
He said. He left out the fact that only potential guardians were forced to stay on the island, for obvious reasons.
Also, you don't seem nearly as surprised as before,
he pointed out. I am getting used to the changes. I also met some echidnas out there in the journey. They were really a pain in the ass, she admitted. She took a sip of her beverage. She let go of a growl of disgust for the drink while twisting her face. Do you seriously drink this stuff like this? Do you even put sugar in this?
Guess I'm not a picky eater,
he said while shrugging. But wait, if Knuckles traveled to another dimensions, that means that he also had to deal with the time differences, she thought. That means you also had to deal with that if you went into the Twilight thingy, she realized. But you are here fine. Well, as fine as a traumatized person can be. How did you guys do that?
Time traveling.
He just answered. You say it like it's a weekly thing instead of decimating the laws of physics while trying to face against a force that really doesn't have quantifiable matter, Wave answered. Tails looked like he was thinking hard and intensively.
It kind of was when with Eggman around,
he said. Ahem? So how do you do it? I think that's what... Yeah, it's just ahem, but I think it's supposed to be ahem.
Yeah.
She asked. I think, is this Tails' thoughts?
Oh my god,
Whose thoughts are these?
Yeah, now I'm getting I'm trying to read ahead even further, and I'm completely...
I don't... Yeah, I stopped... I don't know who's talking anymore. Like, it... I think this first one is Tails, because she asked him a question.
Yeah, alright.
But then again, is this her asking...
Right.
No, this is Tails.
Alright. Should I be more specific? Whoever is behind watching could use the idea of sending her back to her time to cause trouble. And something inconvenient always happens each time we needed to time travel back to our present. Then again, if something ends up happening, we should send her back, and probably the others too. Besides, Silver wasn't always the answer, yet something else might come up.
And I think this is him, like, continuing off of his thoughts.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, because this is explaining time travel.
Mm-hmm. Something different happened most of the time. Sometimes because we all end up time warping, the time difference wasn't felt, so we didn't need to go back in time. There were that one time where these time stones just popped out of nowhere and never be here about after that. Others, we use chaos control.
That chaos control seems to be the ultimate Deus Ex Machina.
Tell me about it. But I think we needed Silver the Hedgehog around to be able to time travel via chaos control.
Dude.
But he is probably back in his future at this point,
he said. This guy is attempting to explain all of the inconsistent uses of like time travel and chaos control.
Wow.
That's the hardest thing you could probably do in the Sonic lore right now. Besides explaining why, like, how old they are, because nobody knows anymore. You mean his dimension, Wave answered.
What?
We found him on our journey. He was at one of the dimensions we traveled. It was one filled with tons of water. Like, maybe 85% of the world has water and islands. There was also this crazy fire cat lady and these gems like the Chaos Emeralds we tried to steal.
And let me guess, it went horribly wrong,
he said. Wave only looked frustrated for his comment. He then started laughing at her full force. Quit it!
I can't,
he said between fits of laughter.
but that means Super didn't return to the future. Also, unlike any other dimension, the Soul Dimension seems to have some connection to ours, moving at the same time and being fairly easy to reach, in comparison to any other at least. And Silver is also there. Will this end up in trouble? How is Silver? In Blaze? And Marine? I was just going to ask if
ever
Marine...
wondered how Marine is doing.
If Marine...
No one ever wanted to know.
Like, literally, once I heard about the Shade person, I was like, okay, is Marine gonna be?
Marine's on the table.
Oh,
Marine has been name dropped.
Not Chris Thorndike yet.
Dude, if Chris comes into this, I'm gonna be upset. All right, author's note. It wasn't meant that Shade and Nux would be going somewhere. I am more Nux X Cross Rouge, honestly. I was going to have them meet with Tikal and see what she was doing, but this little idea more or less wrote itself. Do you like it? I like the idea that Shade would take more initiative than Knuckles, since she at least lived with several other echidnas, but would ask Rouge for advice since she would notice that they have some strange bond. What do you people think of the whole Ken Penders fiasco?
Oh, man.
Wow, this was 2014, or not 2014, 2024, remember? And I think that's when
the
Twitter was getting a little feisty with him, and he was getting really feisty back.
Yeah.
Would you like a continuation of the Dark Chronicles game? Would you like Shade the Echidna back? If so, Would you like her to return with the Nocturne concept, or would you give her a new backstory? If the whole Ken Penders thing kept on. Was that because he was upset that they used them in the movies? Like, what was happening?
Well,
Was
he was trying to release his own. From what I understand, you're trying to release his own.
he thought he owned the echidnas that weren't Knuckles?
Yes. And so he tried to release his own comic series that was based on them, but Sega was saying no, but he was saying yes.
Dude.
And it eventually released through some kind of agreement I don't know about. And that's what everyone was like, oh, wait, this is like really weird because there's a lot of incest in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not have
Ken
expected
Penders
that.
and incest, yeah.
That's very surprising.
Hello, everybody. Editing Micah here. Just wanted to clarify a few things. Like I said, I don't know much about the whole like Ken Penders and Archie comics kind of thing. I definitely recommend reading the Wikipedia about it, as it gives a lot more information onto like kind of what happened. But yeah, it wasn't really the incest part that made people upset, because from what I could tell, that wasn't really in the new comic, but it was like more about how the comic was just bad, essentially. I highly recommend watching H Squid's reviews on the new Ken Penders books. He definitely does a like really short but also in-depth like analysis on them. So if you're any more curious, definitely check out those videos. Kind of cleared up a lot of things. But yeah, people just didn't like the low quality effort and the changes that he made to the previous story. So that's more of what people were upset about. The incest thing has just kind of been there like for a long time, apparently.
Also, I had this chapter written by the time I uploaded the last one. Decided to wait a little. Okay. Decided to wait a little to not publish chapters too soon between each other. Next one is like 1/3 written. All right.
Okay, so we'll talk about the Ken Penders fiasco. Would you like to continue to the Dark Chronicles games? We haven't played the Dark Chronicles
I'm gonna
games.
say yes.
Yeah,
I want modern BioWare to make a sequel.
Wait, what was BioWare's legacy game? I'm blanking right now.
Was it Dragon Age Veilguard?
Ooh, yeah. And I heard I didn't really get the best reviews.
It was like mixed. BioWare. Go to games developed.
I don't think it would be by.
It's a separate Wikipedia.
I don't think it would be by BioWare though. They'd probably just they just have like Arzest or something do it.
Wait, hold on. While I'm here, so there are 3 games before Sonic Chronicles. Right before it was Mass Effect. Before that was Jade Empire, and before that was KOTOR. That was their legacy at this point.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
And then after that, they released a Mass Effect mobile game, but then they released Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect 2. So it's like there's literally just this black stain on their golden age.
Dang. That's so
awesome.
weird.
I'm so happy it's Sonic.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see what their newest thing is. It is the Veilguard, and then there's that Mass Effect thing they announced 6 years ago.
So, I wouldn't want BioWare to do it. I would probably
Seriously, no. Like for funny, yes.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny if they.
Yeah, but like, if they, I mean, right now Sega is having an identity crisis with Sonic. They don't know what it wants it to be right now, and like right now would not be a good time to continue Dark Brotherhood. But I think like once, and I do mean once they have Sonic figured out, I don't believe this is going to last forever. Once they have Sonic finally figured out, then yeah.
Now I know we don't normally talk about. I was gonna save this for next episode, but as someone I just beat and finished Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight, both of which are like bad, in the story department. Secret Rings is really bad, but even still, just like the personality of Sonic in those 2 games is like it's like exuding like Sonic. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't care who. Like, yeah, I like Jason Griffith. Like, you know, he was the one I grew up with, the actor.
Mm-hmm.
But like Roger the Roger Sonic isn't just Roger not fitting the role. It's the fact that they've had to like completely change his character for Roger to fit the role even a little bit. Now he's just like, why, like, he just doesn't. He acts like he doesn't care. You know, he's just like, I'm just hanging out. You know, it's me,
right.
Sonic, chili dogs. You know, and like, dude, like, the modern Sonic could not do a Sonic Chronicles sequel.
Right.
Modern Sonic writing could not do a Black Knight sequel. It couldn't do any spinoff. Like, the only spinoff the modern Sonic writing is good at, apparently, is racing games.
Racing games and audio dramas.
And audio dramas. And it's like, what can you do? Like I know games are way more expensive now to the point where it's almost not worth making spinoffs, but like that's what outsourcing is for. That's why you have BioWare make, you know, just have someone else make it. There's plenty of like indie studios you can go to, you know, like that's what like Konami does. They are just like, oh, new Castlevania game. Here's an indie studio that made this game, you know.
I mean, they outsourced the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, I believe.
Well, that's that was like a different thing.
Okay.
But yeah, like they made Sonic Racing Crossworlds in house at Sonic Team. They used to outsource those, and that makes me go confused because like, isn't it expensive to do that?
Well, yeah, and like there's Sumo Digital, right?
Yeah, it was Sumo for the racing games, but I think Sonic Team did the Riders games.
They did, yes.
So it's like up. I guess it's up in the air.
But like, yeah.
But then Traveler's Tales and Sonic R. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every single spinoff.
I would rather
outsourced,
have them
like,
be. Well, if they were to make another Chronicles games, I would want them to outsource it.
Yeah.
Because Sonic Team clearly can't really handle.
Get the Baldur's Gate 3 guys to do it.
Like, they really can't handle. Like, they really can't handle all of these projects. Because, like, yeah, Sonic Racing Crossroad turned out good, but it's just going to be another racing game that people are going to forget about, and they did not handle the DLC well at all. And like, this also put delays on like their main series stuff.
I think it was a situation where Frontiers sold enough to where they're like, hey, we can do this ourselves. Like, we don't have to outsource it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, a racing game is the type of game you should outsource. I don't know of many spinoffs, Sonic spinoffs specifically, that needs to be done in-house. I appreciate it when they do it, but we don't get anything in the meantime, you know?
Right.
I guess that's more what I'm trying to say is that modern Sonic doesn't have anything else to go off of. It's just like, you don't even get one a year anymore. And I don't necessarily want one a year, but it's like, you don't get one in E2. It's like 4 to 5 years between Sonic games, including spinoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is really reminding me, this fan fiction and those two games, just like, I remember why I like Sonic now, you know? It's not because of the funny bad games. It's not because, like, Secret Ring sucked, but like, oh my gosh, it's so charming.
Yeah.
Like the little Sonic moment Sonic has with Shara, it's like, I like it. That's like, Sonic can't do that anymore. He lost that ability.
And that's why Sonic X is still like my favorite Sonic, because like it really just captures that like free spirit that he actually like is.
But he's kind and empathetic, and that's the part that they don't really like elaborate
and like, but like
on
Sonic's
anymore.
also like a jerk in Sonic X too. Like, he's so selfish at times. Like,
he literally just like, the first thing he does when he like the Formula One driver that's just hanging out in the town, as you do.
Yeah.
He like slaps his butt at him. That's insults him. The first thing he does when he gets to Earth is insult someone.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's like Roger Craig Smith would be like, do you guys have chili dogs?
He said, I went through this weird dimension portal. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, so I want to rewatch Sonic X again. I want to buy that like the Blu-ray that they have on Amazon. It's like $50.
Yeah, all those discotheque stuff are insanely expensive. But
it's
good. I have it.
Yeah.
You should buy the Japanese dub. It's a completely separate Blu-ray that you also have to spend a separate $40 for. But I do want to watch the Japanese dub to see if I notice all the things they change,
Yeah.
in the background and stuff.
They should make another Sonic anime. No, like I appreciate
Sonic Prime was good, but like
I appreciate these like little like anime shorts that they're doing for like promotion of like certain games.
the ones
and
for
stuff.
Shadow were awesome.
Oh, like that should be a show. Honestly,
That should be.
And but I don't want just a show. I want like an anime. I actually want
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
Like, bro, get some like get like some
Get the
like,
Castlevania guys to do a
Get-
Sonic anime, dude.
get Toei Animation on it.
Toei.
Get some Dragon Ball stuff on it. Like, let's go. Dragon Ball fight scenes.
See, they should do like Sonic Cross Dragon Ball. They're inspired, like Sonic's inspired by Dragon Ball.
Everyone's okay. So yeah. So like, as someone who knows both fan bases,
unlike me.
The Sonic and Dragon Ball fan base were like they're at opposite ends. They didn't like each other too much.
Oh, they
but like
don't?
I think with like as the generations continue, there've been some closure, I think. And I really think that something special could be made with a Sonic X Dragon Ball.
I mean, the crossover with Batman.
Cause because like I mean, a lot of Sonic games are just straight up inspired. Some would even say copies of Dragon Ball.
And
I
the
mean,
movies.
yeah,
Like Sonic 3 specifically.
Oh, yeah,
Like...
yeah, clearly inspired by Dragon Ball, and it's like, I think it should be, if it was like a comic or a manga or something, it'd probably be the only graphic novel I would ever buy.
Yeah.
And the first one and the only one I'll ever buy, because I'm not into that stuff, but that would be way too big of a deal. But yeah, good chapter. I mean,
It was
kind of. I like how they're setting up how nice story. By the way, the author's nastories. We keep forgetting to mention that.
I said it today.
Did you?
Yeah, nastories.
Nastories.
I know we haven't in the last couple. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. So I like what nastories is kind of doing, and having this whole arc just be like, just what the characters are doing and what they're doing, and like it's interesting how these stories are like what's happening with the other characters are happening on the same day that Tails is explaining everything to Wave.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's just it's like on the top because it's earlier that day, and then the other parts like with Sonic Story, it was yesterday. It was the day before.
So this is recent stuff.
Yeah, this is all kind of happening at like the same time, which is interesting.
How does he know this though?
Well, Tails isn't describing this story, like this specific story, to Wave, but he's explaining was.
I completely missed that. I thought Tails was explaining that, not verbatim. But
right. But no, I know. I kind of got that.
Tails
here.
was just like, yeah, and like Knuckles and Shade are a thing. but we read it as this hour long.
Right.
I was gonna say. It falls. I don't know if I've mentioned this about this one before, but it does fall prey to the fan fiction trope of being overly explanatory.
Yeah.
And just like drawn out. Like this could have been half as long. We didn't really need the thing with the kid, honestly. Like I know it kind of shows what Knuckles' personality a little bit, but like it could have been way short. He didn't have to do the thing. It was like, I'm gonna do the mentor thing and like. Make you do something hard that you don't like.
Right, he could have just at least like said or shown something to the Razzle, whatever, like something just right then and there when the twins were fighting. So yeah, but this is already feeling like more like definitely like a TV show, like writing. Like this would like the whole volcano part. That would just be one episode.
Yeah, that'd be one episode, and then. The romance thing at the end would be way shorter and just like a little tease at the end. Just like, are they together? Are they not together?
So hopefully like all these characters like, or like come back and like do some cool fight. I don't know. But yeah.
And with that, this is episode 67?
Yes.
67 of Pick a Fic. In the description is all of our things you can follow. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you choose. YouTube has a video version with relevant images and the text on screen if you prefer that. And this might be our second or third longest episode again. So thanks for sticking around till the end. We will see you next time with some weird thing Micah finds.
Goodbye.
Bye.